Hi guys, it's been a while, eh? My work schedule has changed, so I have to be a lot more creative with my free time. Just don't look at the chores I haven't finished. It'll be okay, it'll be fine. In the spirit of trying something different, I'm gonna try talking about something chill. Food! I've seen other YouTubers talk about all these different kinds of food. Asian food, American food, Mexican, or even West African food. But I haven't seen as much talk of East African food. This is what I want to spotlight today, because it definitely deserves to be discussed. Now, even though I'm not East African, these people are also called Habesha. My husband was actually born in Eritrea, even though he grew up in Canada and doesn't really remember what Eritrea was like. However, he still has strong ties to the culture through his family, and he grew up eating Habesha food. In my experience, when you ask most people if they know where Eritrea is, or if they've ever eaten injera, they will say they've never heard of either. But they might know about Ethiopia, Eritrea's neighboring country, which has a very similar culture. When we first started dating, I honestly had never heard of Eritrea either, to my embarrassment. But I had been introduced to their staple food, injera, a long time ago already, because my eldest sister was best friends with an Ethiopian girl who invited us to parties where we would all eat injera. The best way I can describe injera is, it's sort of like a crepe, but tastes more like sourdough, and it's very soft and spongy. The cool thing about it is you don't eat the injera by itself. You use it sort of like a plate and a utensil. You tear off a piece of the injera and use it to pick up some of the many delicious stews or meats they have. So far, my favorites are tsebi and kwanta firfir, but others are good too, like shiro or dorho. My husband really likes kitcha, which is a bigger bread they serve with coffee or for dessert. The Habesha spices are to die for. We bought some shiro powder from one of the African markets in town and actually had some success making shiro ourselves at home. We also bought berbera, which is a red spice used to make dorho and other things. And even though I don't really know how to make dorho yet, berbera adds a really warm, hearty kick to lots of dishes. I've been adding it to stir-fried ground beef that I serve with rice. The first time I tried this, my husband said, "If you make this again, I'll read to you every night," so he must have liked it. I live in a small city, so we only have one Habesha restaurant here, sadly. But if you drive 2 hours to the nearest big city, there are several different places to choose from. But even though we only have one restaurant, it's definitely a good one. Maybe since the Habesha community is a little bit smaller where I live, it's very normal for me to be the only white person in the restaurant. And I discovered quickly that some of the employees there don't speak much English. One time when we went there, maybe it was the first time we went there together, my husband and I were pointing out things on the menu to choose. The lady behind the counter was listening and nodding, following what we were saying. But then I looked at her and said, "Oh yeah, and I also want coffee, please." And this lady just stared at me with the most deadpan expression. Thinking she didn't hear me, I repeated myself, but she just kept staring at me, looking almost concerned. I was just about to ask what was wrong when my husband said to her a word that sounded like "bun." And she went, "Oh, okay," and went to the back to start making our meal. And I realized that the only reason she understood me was because I was pointing at the menu, which she could read because it was written in the Tigrinya language. I actually ended up cutting this video short because it was just taking so long and I really want to stop neglecting my other projects. But I just wanted to also say that my husband and I have recently tried making kwanta firfir. We did it twice and it was really good. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all so much. I'll see you next time.